everyone. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here we are driving up Charleston out to Cactus Joe's and getting to see just how absolutely stunning the views are. And traffic's not bad, and this morning's very cool for the end of July. I'm shocked. I'm loving every moment of it. And I'm sure most people get up to Summerlin on occasion. And if you get up to Summerlin, drive on up and visit the state park, national park. Maybe you'll get lucky enough to see some of the, I call them donkeys, but I think they're called burros here. I think that's what they're called. Haven't seen any wild horses around, but I bet you Cactus Joe's seen some wild horses. You can horseback ride up here if you're a tourist coming in town. They have like a really mild one, doesn't last very long, maybe 35 minutes. If you really don't feel comfortable on a horse, they train you to ride, and they go very slow, so it's a really easy one. And if you want to do something larger, I don't think they've changed things. You can take a nice ride, I think it's called the North Rim, and have end your sunset with a steak dinner. That's what they used to do. I'm sure they still do. So anyway, it's a great place to ride horseback, and it's just so many things to do once you get to the top of this area. And always visit the gift shop at Cactus Joe. Well, Cactus Joe has so much art, it just flows through the entire building. But if you go to Red Rock National Park, visit the Welcome Center, go in the gift shop. They just have things there that you cannot find anywhere else. And same thing with Cactus Joe, just some unique items that you cannot purchase. You know, and it's not in mass production. A lot of it's made with the hands of people that love what they're doing. So handmade crafts. And when you're at the Welcome Center at the Red Rock National Park, they have a lot of outdoor areas that you can visit, see where the turtles live whenever it's winter before they come out. They give you a lot of details about the desert life that you wouldn't know unless you did that little journey behind the gift shop or the Welcome Center. So here we are. That guy on the motorcycle in front of us, very smart. He knows get up early and get out here, and you can take a nice quiet drive on your motorcycle. I think he's telling that person, don't cut me off. So here we are, just on leaving the housing areas and out here in the wide open of God's country. Mr. Rogers was so right when he sang it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I got up thinking that driving out here, that was the song that came in my head. People love to bicycle and run and walk, and I guess in my younger days I certainly would have enjoyed camping out on the ground, but these days I prefer something a little more comfortable. And there's just so many cool things about seeing Red Rock. I met this guy in Florida who saw the face in art, in nature's art, and he would collect driftwood with faces carved in them. So he's like, always look for face art when you're looking at mountains. So I started looking at this Red Rock Canyon, and I did see the face in the main big one, but I'll let you guys do your searching and see if you see the face. I know they say that there's the chief laying down on this part of the mountain, which I don't know, well, you can see my window up. But anyway, I know they say that you can see the chief's head on this, and I've seen it when they pointed it to me. I'm not real clear about where it is, but I have seen a grumpy looking face in this one that's pointed with a lot of the red in the middle. I've seen the face in that one. So when you ride out here, look, if you're not driving, look for the face, or at least get your kids to. And they ask you not to feed the wild horses and burros. I mean, We just don't want to do anything that promotes them, getting too close to the road and getting ran over. Nobody wants to see animals injured in that way. So just, respect that and just understand that we're trying to keep things as in the way it's meant to be as much as we can do those things. Development's a big part of our world, and we have to learn to work together with nature. So here's the fire station that's out here. I haven't heard of too many fires, but I'm sure that there are fires. And the beauty is we have these great people that volunteer their time to rescue. There are so many people that come out here unprepared to hike. They do not have water. They didn't think about many things when they decided to take the hike. So do your homework. Make sure if you decide to hike these areas that you're quite prepared for it getting hot in a moment, just not realizing how hot it can get quickly. That you have to have water with you. You have to be hydrated. Just plan ahead. That's the big thing. Plan ahead, and that way nothing happens to you and nothing happens to the rescuers who are out here trying to rescue people that maybe have made a mistake and didn't investigate things very well before they started their trip. But you could just spend hours exploring this area. You could just probably spend a lifetime exploring it. And when the shadows are different, the sun is moving around, it's like everything is different. The mountains look different. I've never driven out here and I think, oh, I've seen the same thing. You can come out here during the spring and the fall, and yellow will just be lined up and down the streets and all over the mountain, all over the grass part of the mountains. And it just seems like when we get in that period of time where maybe it's cooler, all of these Joshua trees, their colors look so much better. You can tell they're happy that they're not hot. I guess they're like us. They really would prefer it not to be 100 plus degrees. Not overwhelmed. I'm just blown away by how absolutely gorgeous it always is. You don't have to know everything about the desert or have a love of certain names of rocks to appreciate it. It just fills your soul, and you don't have to know all the information on it. I don't know very much about all the things that are out here, or all the different types of rocks, or the scientific history of this, that, and the other, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it with every bit of core of my being, because it's just beautiful. There's a state park out this way. Howard Hughes used to live on this ranch, and a movie star used to live on this ranch before him, or maybe a couple of, I think it's had 5 owners, 4 or 5. There's a lot of history in there about the people that occupied the house. And when you go to the state park here, it's like going to a different part of the world. You're here in the desert, and you see all the mountains, and then you go in there, and it's like a ranch, and it's like going back 1960s, 1950s actually. I'm not sure when it was built, but I just sort of see that 1950s period in that house. And there's so many people there to educate you about history, and it's absolutely fascinating. And the people there are so kind. And you just go out there and sit underneath these big, giant white oaks, and you can have a picnic. They do yoga. They used to do goat yoga. I'm not sure if they still do that. And it's just really neat to see it. And just sit under the trees and feel the breeze. I really do think that people have a misunderstanding about how hot it is up here. It's not like going to Mount Charleston where you get that extreme change from really hot to cool, but it definitely is cooler to be up in these areas. And the ranch, the state park ranch, it has for water there. So they're able to have just a green location. You won't be disappointed if you visit there. And as you can see, we're just getting further and further into this rock. And for me, I see that face way up there at the top. I mean, he's got this little grumpy look. It's like it's carved in. If somebody climbed up there and did a little bit more carving, it would definitely be clear. Shout out to the Celebrating Appalachian family, because they really give me a lot of ideas on what would interest everyone about seeing this area, because they'll take their trips filming in the mountains, and I love it when they take their little car trips and film so that we can see what the mountains look like, the Smoky Mountains. So I appreciate what they do, and they help me figure out how to show you how beautiful this world is. Las Vegas Strip is so much fun. I mean, there's no doubt that you can have so much fun down there, but if you want to just break away from that for a day, this is definitely a good thing to put on your planning list. I'm always amazed at the sky. It's blue, cotton candy looking. I mean, some days it's just so blue. It's just unimaginable how the colors can pop like that. Yeah, there's a couple of girls working it. I say, you go, girl, that's a long walk. And so here we were getting in an area where a lot of people stop their cars and do little short hikes. I've taken a short hike here myself, but as I warned to you guys that day, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't summer, but I didn't bring the water with me, and I thought, well, I'll just take a short walk. Well, I knew when I got partially up, I'm like, oh, it's getting too hot, and I was smart enough to turn back around. If I would have kept on going, I would have been in trouble because I had no water with me. And here's one of those parking locations that I'm talking about right now. Park your car. I'm posting on this site a few of the hikes that you can do. There's one super easy, and that one's the South Oak Creek. You never know what you're going to find when you start walking up in here, especially when we get to the winter months and we have, snow coming off those mountains. What is it going to create on the land below? So that was one of the stops that people, they park their cars and get out and walk, and we're about to come up on another one. This is called First Creek. They give you the, signs letting you know this is a hiking area. It's not very crowded, as you can see. There's plenty of room to park. Of course, we have holidays. You're going to see a lot more people, so just keep that in mind. And people that are carrying their backpacks and they're loaded with what they need to hike, very smart. Try not to throw your trash out. Please don't throw your trash out. Here's letting you know there's a possibility you're going to run into a burro, probably a whole family, certain times of the day. So here's the Spring Mountain Ranch State Park. You won't regret visiting there, I can tell you that. It really is an oasis in the desert. And if you're not from Las Vegas and you've moved here and you miss trees and you sort of miss that side of the world that's loaded down with greenery, and you're like, I need something besides brown, go there. That will definitely fill that void for you. And when I go out there, I feel like I own that ranch. That's the wild part. I feel like it's mine, because every time I go, there's nobody there early in the morning, so it gets to be mine. They're planting a garden right now, and there's a guy out there who really knows a lot about some of the plants that have been brought in here. He talked to me and a friend about a watermelon seed that came in from an Indian tribe, and he's growing the watermelon there. And I asked him, was it really sweet? And he said, very sweet. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Because being from the South, it's just hard for me to imagine that you could have a watermelon here in the desert without lots of rain and humidity and sun that would sweeten. But this one does. So he's growing that. He's working on his garden. He said his goal is to get it really nice, and I guess he really admires some of the other places around here like Cactus Joe's and Spring Preserve, and he just wants to build that same type of garden. This is really like what we call in the South a Sunday drive. You just set your car to what speed that you... Red Rock Canyon, we're leaving it right now. We're headed to Blue Diamond. Just set your car to a speed and enjoy the ride. And it's just so stress-free. I think we often get so caught up in what we have to do every day that we don't realize that if we don't go back and fill the vessel with this sort of stuff, then it's just going to be harder to manage the day. Subscribe if you haven't, share, like with your friends. I'm going to continue to do everything I can to post and keep this thing going. It definitely requires attention, like planting a seed. It's not something you can just do and say, hey, let me walk away from it. You got to be actively involved and interesting people and showing them some things that they can do that are fun. So here's a little town riding out here to Cactus Joe's. Very nice. They have like a little baseball field in the middle. It's like their own little private community. I think it's called Blue Diamond. I'm not sure exactly what this neighborhood's called, but anyway, we're in Blue Diamond. See, they have their own little water wells, and they have lots of trees. Of course, they have to be very concerned about water because they're in a little bit more of a trickier area than the Howard Hughes Ranch. But it's a very quaint little neighborhood. It's like they're in their own little private world. We've seen a lot of burros like right around this part. I say we, meaning my driver, my husband, he's driving. So I'm into this now, talking to you guys. We've taken our time. We haven't gone fast. And it's only been 18 minutes from Summerlin up here. So 18 minutes to go to the shop and see all the things along the way. Let's take a day. Just say, hey, I'm taking a day. You will not regret taking a day. If you're just a tourist that's come in to Vegas for a week, or you're here on a business trip, we welcome you. There are so many great places to eat and places to visit. It is almost impossible to figure out what to do because there are so many great places. Be at 20 minutes when we had Cactus Joe's. 20 minutes. A 20-minute scenic drive 20 minutes of a scenic country drive, Sunday drive, a Southerner says. I don't think you can beat that. Bring a lunch with you when you come out. There's so many places you could stop along the way and eat. It is so good for kids to have that kind of memory in their memory bank later on in life when things are challenging and they feel like life is too difficult for them. Those are good little memories to have in their little memory bank. So here we are, 20 minutes from our point of Summerlin to Cactus Joe's. I love he has this little truck with his name all over. It's the cutest thing ever. So see, you won't miss it, because here's like a sign. I guess they're going to be telling you there's a red light straight up ahead. So if you're coming from Henderson, of course you're going to be coming in this way. But there's a gas station right up ahead. And here's Cactus Joe's truck. 875-1968 is the phone number. He's got a big sale on cacti today. Yay, that's nice. And you can see it's really quiet. So we're going to get to like storm this place and like little children and have a great visit. So thank you for taking the ride with us, and stay tuned. We'll be filming something else and dropping that into the YouTube channel this week. Happy trails, as they say.